The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by BTC, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, Dunkin' Donuts, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, J.S. Johnson, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's Island Games, and Tropical Gyros.
The Tuesday, March 7th edition of Talking Heads is on and popping. It is a Tuesday, and, we ready to jump right in today. Phone lines are open, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Text lines powered by BGC, 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Stream us live. Take us wherever you want to go. GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. All right? And, of course, that's how you can stream us live and take us where. Cable channel 969, BTC Flow channel 612. That's how you get it in. That's how you get it on. All right, we'll be checking in with Freeport in short order because it's Tuesday, and you got the supplement in The Guardian each and every Tuesday. The, Grand Bahama News brings you up to snuff with everything. So let me hit you up with your trivia. You know what you're playing for? Joker's Wild Party Passes, Dunkin' Donuts coupons, KFC coupons, lunch or dinner your choice from Naughty Johnny's. All right? And you got between now and the news and the top of the 5 o'clock hour to get your answers in. You can text me, and you can call me in, Mr. Producer. I'm going to need that text line in just a second, all right? All right. Ooh. Wow. This is crazy. Recent survey of 100 Bahamian males. Survey revealed that 60% or 60 out of 100 think that this is the first thing that people notice about them. What is it? That's your brain teaser. All right? You got between now and the news and the top of the 5 o'clock hour to get your answers in. Recent survey of 100 Bahamian men. Survey revealed that 60% or 60 out of 100 said they think this is the first thing that people notice about them. What is it? All right, that's your brain teaser. Now, got that out of the way. Let's jump on in. Let's check out the headliners. Who or what's making headlines in the 242? All brought to you, of course, by Fine Threads. New arrivals in stock right now, both locations. Top of the Hill, Mackey Street, the flagship store, and the Southwest Shopping Plaza. Be sure to check them out online, finethreads.com. Yes, finethreads.com. Do your shopping online, then arrange for pickup at any one of those convenient Fine Thread locations. And both of those locations, Top of the Hill, Mackey Street, and the Southwest Shopping Plaza location, open for you Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Where'd Mr. Producer go? Doing production kind of things. All right, as soon as he steps back in, we'll double check to see if we got Freeport lined up. If we do, we'll go right to Sarah Kirkman and the crew from the Grand Bahama News. But while I wait on Mr. Producer for that, let's check out the local headlines. F&M, and this was blazing up the pages of the Nassau Guardian News and Views that matter since 1844. Boy, y'all got some crazy text answers going on today, eh? My God, and they all seem to be wrong. But F&M MP says let Dr. Minnis speak. Lewis says party leadership being undemocratic. Story by Candia Dames, executive editor. Free National Movement F&M MP yesterday decried the effort by his party's leadership to block former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis from addressing constituency associations, calling it undemocratic and anti-F&M. Mr. Producer, around, I got to double check if we got Freeport ready to go. Okay, I do not support any censorship, said Iram Lewis, MP for Central Grand Bahama. I do not support that at all. I believe in the freedom of speech and democracy. This gentleman is the former leader, the former Prime Minister. There should never be any attempt, and I'm hoping that's not what it is, but basically that's what the entire public is summarizing it to be. So I don't support any effort to block Dr. Minnis. I don't think the entire public is summarizing that as censorship. I mean, I'm surprised you've been speaking. The last time we heard from you was about 4 years ago when you told everybody to avoid the BPL hike that your administration was a part of raising for us to take cowboys. Put the tub outside and heat the water in the sun. And you remember that foolishness you came up with? Instead of any attempt at a solution? But now you want us to listen to you? I mean, it's clearly was obviously was going on here. Okay, your leash being pulled, so you barking. But I don't think the party leadership's been very undemocratic. Now, if you look, you have to also know how to follow, and I think he's been very undemocratic and not very undermining toward the Pintard leadership. If you're calling it full 100, if you're putting it out there, and the attempts by his minions to undermine the new leader of the opposition, who, quite frankly, is doing an excellent job holding this administration to account every chance he gets in the House of Assembly, as well as his colleagues. Mind you, the only two have been kind of silent in the House, Mr. Lewis and Mr. Willis, and now, you know what they say about empty barrels. So, yeah, we'll see how it plays out. But I think that's another attempt by the minister for relevancy. 2 males fatally shot in Fox Hill. More sad news from that situation. The murder count rises. This happening last night, Fox Hill Park, around 8:45 p.m. And 2 males, one of them on bail for several murders, who were being monitored by police, were fatally shot in Fox Hill last night. You can read more on that in today's Guardian. Gibson worries he won't have a fair trial. Story by Travis Cartwright Carroll. Long Island. Hey, Mr. Producer, we got Freeport? All right. We'll wrap this up real quick. Long Island MP Adrian Gibson is facing bribery, money laundering, and fraud charges. Yesterday, accused North Abaco MP Kirk Cornish of breaching his privacy and privilege. Breaching his privilege and recklessly prejudicing his trial with nasty comments in the House. Well, they could have been. It definitely could have. I've said that the chips fall where they may when it comes to Mr. Gibson and that situation, and it is sub judice, so I don't like to talk about it. As Mr. Cornish should know about, sub judice, especially in his capacity. So we'll see how that plays out. PM apologizing to the Guardian. Darn right you should, Mr. PM. You need to apologize a little more, though. And MP for Pinewood and the Minister for state responsibility for the National Insurance Board, Miles LaRota, said we can't kick the NMB can down the road anymore. And Mr. LaRota, we can't be kicking them cans and other unpleasant items across Pinewood Park anymore either. When you got young men showcasing their baseball talents to international scouts. We'll talk about that coming up in the sport. But yeah, that's the headlines blazing up the pages of the Nassau Guardian News and Views in Madison since 1844. Feel free to chime in. Right now, let's slide down to Freeport. Got Sarah Kirkby chiming in with us. This is the Freeport Report today. This is Tuesday, the Grand Bahama Supplement in the Guardian. Sarah, what's good in Freeport? We got Sarah?
That's all I got to say.
What
happened to winter?
Huh?
What happened to winter? It's too hot.
Yeah, man. I came into work to say anything today. Man, it's hot today.
Seriously.
What happened?
These spring breakers need cool weather. They can't handle this heat.
They need to bring some cool weather. That's what they need to do.
Seriously. I ain't ready to give the people my money for power yet.
Boy, I tell you. So I see the big headline today. The Fishing Hole Road frustrations are boiling over.
Yeah, so they kind of took matters into their own hands down there in the rocks, and the local government rep, he decided to move the barricades and the blocks, and he opened the causeway last week. He had enough, and it was a back and forth, but we understand now that the Ministry of Works is actually doing work on the road as of yesterday. So that's good to know. The problem was that the road had been shut down due to the fact that there were lots of accidents on there due to like a oil or like a slick, I don't know.
Oil slick on the road. That's oil buildup.
And so there were accidents happening. So they had to close the bridge again. They had to open the side roads. And unfortunately, they were very deteriorated with lots of damage. So people were getting their cars damaged. And it was 2 months and nothing was being done. So there was a lot of frustration. But we do understand that work has started again. So I encourage you to read that story and keep up with it on all your other media houses. But it was, I can understand the frustration. It took a long time for that bridge to get repaired. And then it got wiped out in the Hurricane Dorian right after it was just newly built. So there's a lot of frustration if you live out there and the connection you would have to the island, to your job, to supermarkets, to everything you need. So and especially the damage on your car.
The damage on the car is a big thing, man, because that between potholes there, I hear Fishing Hole Road over there, man.
Exactly. So,
Cars throughout the archipelago are screaming.
Exactly. You got to understand the frustration that people have. So that was a big story for us. And then also, if you turn over and look into the second page of the paper today, you're going to see that favorite subject we talk about every week, the airport in Grand Bahama. And the good news is that our DPM, Chester Cooper, says that he will have a big announcement for the island at the Business Outlook, which is happening on the 16th here in Freeport at the Grand Lacaille Hotel in the ballroom there. And so we're all waiting with anxious, bated breath to see what's going to happen.
Another big announcement.
Yeah, well, let's just, I know from what we understand from dealing with Mr. Cooper, he is going to make sure that this announcement is thorough, that it will go ahead. He is very clear about that. He will not make announcements unless he knows it's going to happen, which I really do. Bringing us something fabulous for Grand Bahama. I don't expect this. I don't expect a NAD. I don't expect the airport you have in Nassau. We don't need that, but we do need certain things like conveyor belts. We need coverage. We need bathrooms that are open. We need all those little things of convenience. And not only just it's not for the locals, it's for our guests. We're starting to get tourists back. We're starting, hopefully, to increase our flight services. And we have to make sure that the experience for the guests is wonderful, just as it is in Nassau, as it is in all the other islands. And right now, we're just not at that level. And I think the frustrations, spill over into, for people's, when they deal with everybody. So you don't want that. And you want the guests to have this phenomenal experience when they come here. And the airport is their first one. So we really need to improve that. So I'm hoping for great news from him.
Wow.
And then, so fingers, toes, everything crossed.
Yeah, because I mean, I like Mr. Cooper, man, but listen, I want to see this get done for Freeport. I really, really do.
Yeah. And this government has promised a lot for Freeport, and they have a lot to do. We were truly damaged in Hurricane Dorian, which leads me right to one of our big stories of the week, which is the local artists have launched a show, which I know, Naughty, you might just like the name of the show, as it is One Goat and Three Birds, traveling art show.
I like it.
Which I hope Romy Ferrer, I believe he is taking that in good stead. He
got to take that every day of his life. Hey man, that's an instant classic.
He should have what's it called when you make sure that you get the credit for that all the time. Anyway, he should have gotten the rewards for it. But it's the art show. I went to it on Friday night. It opened at the Rand Nature Center, and it was a beautiful experience. When Dorian brings up a lot of bad memories for a lot of people, and a lot of people went through stuff, but you do have to have a cathartic way of dealing with it. And the artwork that you see in this show is really amazing. I would especially say, look at the picture that we have in the paper today of Joe Morosco's tree post story. And it is not a painting. That is a weaved piece of work. It's done on a loom. And it is phenomenal to think the artwork and the time she put into it. And it is a beautiful representation of what the island looked like after the water drained away. It brought back a lot of memories for me, but it is there to inspire you as well. And it is there to talk about climate change. It's there to talk about sustainability, all these things that we have to think about and have a conversation about. And these ladies, these artists, the three of them are really bringing it to the forefront with this piece that they're having. And it will be traveling to the Current in Baha Mar on April 14th. And I would encourage everyone who has any relation like you do to someone here in Freeport, Naughty, or even just to understand what people have gone through. There's a little boat that they have in as you go into the exhibition, and it asks you to write your feelings and your memories about it. And I had to really stop and take a moment, because what I wanted to say I didn't put down, but there's so much emotion tied to this storm, and it is a catharsis for us, this art show, and these ladies have done a phenomenal job in bringing it to light. I think it's really exemplary.
I think the art show, I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's something I'd like to take it in person, but I will implore all my family and friends in Freeport to go and attend and support it, man.
It's free, and it's got a sponsor behind it, which also has to it has a connection with an essay competition being done as well. I encourage people to look into that as well. And it is the works are beautiful, but it's also necessary. It's what we have to do. And I know I can't pump up the artwork show enough. Also, we had a great meeting here on Grand Bahama. Now, I am a total dyslexic, so I am horrible with acronyms. It is a very hard
And oil slick.
IWPPI. But it was a very good conference. It was well attended. I would encourage everybody to read about this. There were quite a number of phenomenal speeches given at it wasn't a conference, it was a meeting retreat, their 14th policy retreat. It was headed by former Senator Kay Smith, and there were the Charge d'Affaires was speaking. She gave a wonderful speech. There was a really great story on that in another local daily, and there was also some great charges and some policies they put together. So I would encourage everyone to read that. And I thought it was very interesting. One of their guest speakers as well was Fred Mitchell, who came and spoke as well.
Well, he's the Minister of Foreign Affairs, so anything,
right.
anything to do with foreign affairs and affairs and foreign, he's going to be there.
That's right. Shout out to him as well, because while he was here in Freeport, he did hear a story about the children's home, and we are at full capacity at the moment, which is very hard. Nobody wants it to be at full capacity. And he came and gave a personal donation the other day and spoke to our home just before we did the Fun Run, which is our Eyeful of the week, which is our first annual Fun Run walk for the children's home. So I send our thanks out to the minister for supporting us and for all the people that came out for the first Fun Run, which started at 6 a.m. bright and early on Saturday morning. Not good if you went out late Friday night.
So, yeah, you can't go to that at 6 a.m. hungover from Friday. That ain't going to work.
No. But I have to tell you, it was a great Fun Run walk. But the best part about it is when you come in and you're kind of exhausted and you've done the whole walk, is the great Junkanoo celebration. They've started doing this at like Conkman and at all the events now that, and you have Junkanoo there at the end. It really makes an event, and it's colorful, it's fun, it's loud, and I don't know. It really was a highlight to me of this new activity on the island. So I was really excited about it.
Getting us ready to the break, but I appreciate you chiming in, sir, and I know you're busy today. So thanks for chiming in and getting us caught up, and we'll chat with you next Tuesday for another edition of the Freeport Report. And I implore everybody every Tuesday, buy the Guardian and get the supplements. Spend the money.
That's right. Thank you, Naughty, and thank you for letting me come on early today.
No problem, man.
It.
Be safe. Take care. We'll talk soon now.
Okay. Bye.
All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Producer, let's get to the break. As we get to the break and we wrap up, the headliners brought to you, of course, by Fine Threads, and the Buzz brought to you, of course, by John's Shoes. And John's reminds you, small home appliances now available for you, as well as that full line of shoes for men, women, and children, formal, casual, athletic, and all the accessories to go along with. And remember, John, serving you is a pleasure, so be sure to check them out, both locations, John's Plaza Carmichael and the flagship store over there on Rosetta today. As we get to the break, Naughty, boy, you all really fired up today too, boy. Okay, here we go. Naughty, great show as usual. I really regret to say that we didn't have any murders in the last 2 days, but the very next day, boom, 2 murders. Boy, I tell you, how come someone on bail for a couple of murders, how much murder does one have to do to get bail? Or not to get bail? Boy, I tell you, I know you steal a can of corned beef, you're going to jail, but no bail. You kill a few people, you can get bail, and sorry, here. Naughty, Minister's smarter than we give him credit for. Pintard won't allow him to speak, so now Minister will now be looked at as a victim. Everyone always feels sorry for the victim. Boy, I tell you. I don't think so. I think that hate for Dr. Minister still run deep. Yeah. But obviously, if I knew that you were trying to undermine me at every chance you got, why should I let you speak and give you the microphone to undermine me? As The Rock would say, know your role, shut your mouth. You only want to hear from the leader, especially if, you got members of the crew that are blatantly and openly trying to undermine. All right? So, yeah, no, here's another good one. Text to send in. And a lot of people don't remember this, but, yeah, text you right on point with this one. Naughty, don't forget, Minister did the same thing to Ingram. And who put Minister in the leadership of the FNM was was Ingram. And he did the same thing to him. Don't forget. And remember, like he said, the Ingram era is over. Well, as you said, Dr. Minutes, to Mr. Ingram, you should now understand that your era in the F&M is over. Support Pentard. That's the young lion that people are focusing on right now, whether you believe it or not. No matter how much noise you make and cages you try to rattle, you got to worry about the youngsters. That's a wicked animal right there. And they on Pentard run. That's what they tell me. Let's go to the break, Mr. Producer. We'll pick up the Tuesday, March 7th edition of Talking Heads right after this.
Attention all KFC lovers! Are you ready to get crazy on Tuesdays? Now you can get 5 juicy mouth-watering pieces of KFC chicken for only $10. It's crazy! 5 pieces of world-famous KFC chicken, handmade with a secret blend of 11 herbs for only $10. Don't miss out! This crazy offer is only on Tuesdays and only at KFC. KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking good.
Refined style with elegant taste. And fine threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then fine threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then fine threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. Is your place. Is your place.
When I got prostate cancer, my family didn't know if I was going to live. At Cancer Treatment Centers of America, within days, I got an appointment. They presented me with treatment options, and we set up a robotic prostatectomy. When my scans came back, there are no signs of cancer. They don't see you as a number, they see you as a part of the family. I'm going on with my life. That's a real gift.
Call us at Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
Play with Island Games, we making dreams come true. Play with Island Games, with you. Don't mind the noise in the market, you getting cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy, and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first, guaranteed to play Island Games. We like them other jokers, we've been here from the start, from the bike to computer. Island Games, we can make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
Experience a flavor explosion with the new Italian mozzarella chicken sandwich from Dunkin'. Loaded with juicy chicken, marinara sauce, a generous drizzle of pesto sauce, all topped off with melted cheese and served on a warm, flaky croissant. Made to order all day long, the Dunkin' Italian mozzarella chicken sandwich combo includes a bag of baked lays and a freshly brewed iced tea. Enjoy a taste of Italy in every bite. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
Talking Heads, the Tuesday, March 7th edition continues right now. And we're in 4 o'clock hour, 4:45 p.m. Getting ready for the news at 5. Got your answer for you for the trivia. Congratulations to Sean. Sean is the winner. Chimed in, and nobody's got this yet. It's the type of phone they have. Some of these dudes, 60% of the Bahamian males that were surveyed out of the 100, 60% said they thought the first thing people notice about them are their phones. How vain are those 60 dudes? Anyway, because trust me, if y'all think they're looking at your phone, trust me, let me tell you some of these answers what they're really looking at. Let me be honest with you. What the Bahamian public see when they're looking at you. Yeah, your teeth, their weight, their big nose, and they stress the big, their height, their surname, their haircut. The surname, anyway, I get it. Their face. Listen, you wrong for what you typed. No shape now. Stop it. Hey, Naughty, I used to think you were biased, but I take that back. Okay, thanks. Appreciate that. I still hate LeBron, though. Okay? All right. That's where you draw the line. We'll stay right there. Okay. Yeah, so congratulations. Sean was the winner with phone. That was correct answer. All right? All right, let's get up into the global warming. We're heating up the planet in 60 seconds or less. All brought to you by KFC Nassau. And listen, man, KFC Nassau are doing big things. All right? You know it's Tuesday. So you know it's all about Crazy Tuesday at KFC. All right? So be sure to check them out. Got great deals going on Crazy Tuesday. All right? You got 5 pieces of the Colonel's chicken. All right? All hooked up for you. Only $10 with VAT included. Can't beat that with a stick. All right? That's off the chain. Be sure to check them out on that. Yeah. 5 pieces for $10. $5. All right? It's the original recipe too, man. You always got to go with the original. Yes. All right. And don't forget the game day wings as well. All right? They're off the chain. Basketball season is back on. And nothing like the game day wings. Enjoy a dozen of KFC's finger-licking good saucy wings with your choice of barbecue, classic buffalo, or mango habanero for only $14. All right? Take a time out and head to your favorite KFC store. All right, for this amazing deal. And WhatsApp ahead at 557-3663. That's 557-3663 to order and skip the line. Check out KFC today, man. Let them do the cooking for you. It's always finger looking good. All right, and let's see what's heating up the planet in 60 seconds or less. Like I said, all brought to you, of course, by KFC Nassau. And here we go. Where do we start? Gary Rossington, the last surviving original member of Lynyrd Skynyrd, has died. He was 71. Rapper Macklemore announced a day of a free concert last night in Seattle. Lines formed immediately. Chance for him to practice new material before heading out on the road. It was held at Numos, a small venue in the Capitol Hill area that holds 750 people. This Sunday's episode of Family Guy will feature a crossover scene with The Simpsons and Bob's Burgers that involves the 3 key cartoon dads. That I shall not miss. And even if I do miss it, I'll watch it on delay. Pete Davidson and Chase Suey Wonders were involved in a car accident Saturday night around 11 p.m. in Beverly Hills when the driver allegedly lost control and drove into a house. The maker of Toblerone chocolate bar said Sunday that the company will remove images of the famous Matterhorn mountain peak from its packaging. The reason they're starting to make some of their bars outside of Switzerland, a country with strict usage rules on pictures. If it's not made here, no Matterhorn on the outside. Bernie Madison, a legendary animator and the longest-serving Disney employee, has died at the age of 87. Madison's work spanned 7 decades, including work on Lady and the Tramp, The Lion King, and many more Disney classics. Hoda Kotb is back on today after a 2-week absence. We know what she took time off because her 3-year-old daughter had a health scare that put her in the hospital. All right. And what else is going on? Pretty much that's it. Bill Gates' daughter Jennifer has given birth to her first child, a daughter with husband Nael Nasser. And Dave Willis, one of the radio voices of the Tampa Bay Rays for 18 years, died Sunday morning. The team announced he was 58. All right, that's a wrap right there on your global warming. We're heating up the planet in 60 seconds or less. All brought to you, of course, by KFC Nassau. Let me slide into my Dunkin' Donuts coffee break. And let me remind you, man, Dunkin' is doing big things. A favorite is back. All right? You definitely want to check them out on that maple bacon breakfast sandwich. That is off the chain. All right? Yeah, man. That is off the chain. And they got a new item as well, too. They got the new stuffed bagel minis, bite-sized bagel stuffed with cream cheese for the perfect snack on the go. Want to try those? As well as the new Italian mozzarella chicken sandwich, loaded with juicy chicken, marinara sauce, a generous drizzle of pesto sauce, all topped off with melted cheese and served on a warm, flaky croissant. It is all good. It's waiting on you at your favorite Dunkin' location. Downtown Bay Street, Paradise Island, Palmdale, Brenner Road with the drive-thru, East Street South with the drive-thru, Carmichael, the newest location, and out at the airport, pre-clearance and post-clearance. So no reason for you not to be running on Dunkin', because you know the Palmers runs on Dunkin'. All right. All right, listen, for all of y'all worrying about Cuban Willie, I promise you Cuban Willie will return next week. I might have a conversation with Cuban this Friday from Dunkin', all right? And then we'll go from there, Okay? Cuba's not dead. Cuba has not been detained by the immigration. Cuban is not building boats. Cuban is not doing import-export. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Cuban been hanging out with Sparky. So I don't know. I don't know what they're growing down there on Apache land what Sparky got, but I think I need to try to catch up with Cuban. I think that's what he's been doing down there. Maybe some tobacco is growing. You know what I'm talking about? So we try to catch up with them. All right? I promise you by next week, the Cuban will be back. Everybody love Cuban Willie. I tell you. And I will convey the message. All right. So as I slide in my Dunkin' Donuts coffee break, I really need to ask this question. Okay? And let's be honest now. Let's be honest. And you can answer me throughout the day, even when we get into 5 p.m. and we're talking sports. You can still chime in if you want. Mr. Producer, help me. But with all cartoons that we grew up on, not kick the living you-know-what out of today's cartoons with these kids be watching today. But Sylvester would have his way with children in today's cartoon world. Wile E. Coyote, he wouldn't catch Roadrunner, but he would have mash up SpongeBob them. You can't forget Hong Kong Phooey, #1 super guy. Ha! Hong Kong Phooey and his cat would mash up people. The cat from Hong Kong Phooey would have turned SpongeBob into Swiss cheese. They got a ton of these Rudy Poo cartoons today. Wouldn't last 5 minutes with Scooby and Scrappy. Scrappy-Doo would have taken out plenty. And listen, you didn't want no Scooby-Doo, just Scooby and Shaggy and the crew. They can figure out who it is. You know? Even the Cosby with Fat Albert them. The Brown Hornet. The Brown Hornet would have mashed everybody up. Mighty Mouse too. Dear God, don't call it Mighty Mouse. Don't call it the heavy artillery because Mighty will just knock you clean. And don't let Popeye. I'm strong to the finish because I eat me spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. You forget Papa the Eye. Kids today have no concept on cartoons, man. Their cartoons suck. Ours were the greatest ever. I don't care what you come up with. Ours were the greatest ever. And I'm talking like Saturday morning cartoons because The Simpsons and Family Guy and South Park, yeah, they're in a league all by themselves. I tell you, some classic cartoons. Good old days. Saturday mornings. Cereal and cartoons. And if you get American Channel before the days of satellite, you could always catch Channel 6 in the morning from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. With all of that. Remember the Duck Duck Blues Club and all of that? Yeah, man. We Miss Janet. When I went to prep school in Florida, Miss Janet was in charge of the elementary program. I killed myself laughing. I was like, boy, you look over the mashup now, eh? Boy, remember? Straight to detention on day one. That's why they call me naughty. I don't know what you're texting me this for. I mean, you know, I only ride with one chicken. The Colonel. The K, the F, the C. Enough with it. They like cardboard. I was referring to the cartoon with that name, all right? Leave the next thing alone. Ain't no but chicken. The Colonel no but chicken, all right? Yeah, anyway. Let's say a little nothing but no chicken. Anyway, Mr. Producer, it's about that time. Let's get to the break. On the flip side of the break, we'll be going to the news. But I do want to remind you real quick. And we'll have the crew from the Island Game in here tomorrow, chopping it up with us, breaking it all down. But I do want to remind you, man, they got a great promotion coming up. All right? Yeah, run the bed, Mr. Producer. It's all good. They got a great promotion coming up for March Madness. All right? And I want you to log on to theislandgame.com, but you can win $100,000 only with the Island Game Sportsbook. All right? It's March Madness season. Bet with Island Game Sportsbook for your chance to win $100,000. All right? And if your bracket is one of the best brackets, you got a chance to win $1,000 as well. Just log on to theislandgame.com for more information. And remember, the Island Game always reminds you to play responsibly. Flip side of the break, we'll get to the news. After the news, we'll be into the 5 o'clock hour. We'll be talking sports as the Tuesday, March 7th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this. Good stuff first hour. Way to chime in, everybody.
With the new Italian mozzarella chicken sandwich from Dunkin', loaded with juicy chicken, marinara sauce, a generous drizzle of pesto sauce, all topped off with melted cheese and served on a warm, flaky croissant. Made to order all day long, the Dunkin' Italian mozzarella chicken sandwich combo includes a bag of baked lays and a freshly brewed iced tea. Enjoy a taste of Italy in every bite. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. Whatever the occasion, John's is confident you will find what you're looking for among our always growing collection of amazing and trendy styles. We cover women, men, children, the whole family. Together with John's great prices and helpful and friendly customer service, your experience in shopping with us will be time well spent. Too busy to come in store? Shop with us online. www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on in today at John's, where we put fashion at your feet.
Get your Carifta tickets. The 50th Carifta Games is coming. April 7th to April 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Online at Carifta50.com or at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium entrance. For more details, email tickets@Carifta50.com or call 605-4051.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. Buy your local paper at Freeport convenience stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Want to reach your Grand Bahama customers? Then call Barefoot Marketing at 827-4578 or message them for ad rates via their Facebook page. Advertising opportunities now include classified ads too. Keep up with all the latest Grand Bahama news in the Nassau Guardian newspaper every Tuesday.
Attention, all KFC lovers! Are you ready to get crazy on Tuesdays? Now you can get 5 juicy, mouth-watering pieces of KFC chicken for only $10. It's crazy! 5 pieces of world-famous KFC chicken, handmade with a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices for only $10. Don't miss out! This crazy offer is only on Tuesdays and only at KFC. KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking good.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Talking Heads, the Tuesday, March 7th edition continues right now. 5:06 p.m. is the time we're into the 5 o'clock hour. And, of course, we set it off like we always do, with Today in Sports. All brought to you, of course, by Naughty Johnny's. And real quick, man, I got to deal with this text from the 4 o'clock. This is one text, because this one, Naughty, it's our fault. Do you realize it's our generation that created a generation of weaklings, soft as marshmallows? No, it was not our generation. It was a generation after us and one after them. Wasn't us. Mr. Producer, it wasn't us, right? No, sir, not us. Do not put that on us. No, sir. Can't let you do that. After our generation, though, yes, indeed, it's all their fault. It's all I'm with you on that. So look out for Pearly. Pearly will try to be zooming in. We'll figure it out with Pearly. He might be in the fryer. He might be fluffing it up. He might be smacking it up, flipping it and rubbing it down before he, marinates it, before he puts it in the fryer. You know how Pearly rolls. So we'll see when Pearly chimes. Just keep an eye out for Pearly, because he'll chime in. He'll just pop in. And while you wait on Pearly, I'll jump into Today in Sports History, all brought to you, of course, by Naughty Johnny's. And be sure to check out Naughty Johnny's every Wednesday, every Friday, happy hour, 5 to 7 p.m. out there at Naughty Johnny's. And don't forget on the weekend, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast starting at 9 a.m. All right? Give them a call, 377-7776. See what they got chefed up for you today. And some off-the-chain chicken and beef stir-fry as well, too. That was all good. All right. On this day in 1921, Cy Denny of the Ottawa Senators scored 6 goals against the Hamilton Bruins, won the Prince Wales Trophy when they clinched the NHL regular season championship. This marked the first time the Prince of Wales Trophy was awarded for this reason. 1951, Ezzard Charles won a 15-round decision over Jersey Joe Walcott. It was Charles' 8th heavyweight title defense. 1954, the NBA raised the baskets from 10 feet to 12 feet for an exhibition game between the Minneapolis Lakers and the Milwaukee Hawks. 1954, the Soviet Union defeated Canada in the first international ice hockey competition. 1955, baseball commissioner Ford Frick said that he was in favor of legalizing the spitball. 1970, Austin Carr of Notre Dame scored 61 points against Ohio University. The feat was an NCAA tournament record at the time. 1974, New Orleans became the 18th NBA franchise. The team was bought by 9 people for $6.15 million. 1982, the NCAA college basketball tournament selections were televised for the first time. 1983, Phil Maher won the Alpine World Cup Championship for the first straight year. 1983, ESPN televised the first live professional football game on cable. The game was between the USFL's Birmingham Stallions and the Michigan Panthers. 1987, Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight titleist when he beat James Smith in a decision during a 12-round fight in Las Vegas. 1989, Tom Jordan rolled an .899 in a 3-game series. It was the best 3-game series to be recognized by the ABC in-league play, this being bowling, of course. 1995, Dominique Wilkins of the Boston Celtics became the 9th NBA player to achieve 25,000 career points. 1996, Magic Johnson of the Lakers became the 2nd player to reach 10,000 assists. 1997, Wilson Kipketer of Kenya. Wilson Kipketer of Kenya set the world indoor 800-meter record at 1 minute, 43.9 seconds at the World Indoor Championships in Paris. Finally, Gretzky of the New York Rangers scored his 1,000th NHL goal. He had scored 878 regular season goals and 122 goals in the playoffs. Sports quote of the day: the difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength, not a lack of knowledge, but rather a lack of will. Vincent T. Lombardi. Vince Lombardi, the great legendary head coach. We got a Pearly set in yet? Nothing from Pearly. All right. So we'll slide out of Today in Sports History. All brought to you, of course, by Naughty Johnny's. And get up into the home court. The local sports headlines. All brought to you, of course, by Burger King Nassau. And be sure to check them out today. They got the meat Whopper going on with all the meat. And they got the plant-based Whopper going on as well. All right? Can't believe everything that's Whopper, but it's all plant-based. All right? Be sure to check them out at your favorite Burger King Nassau location for takeout, drive-thru, and delivery with the Craven app. And looking at our local prospects in the Major League, Jazz Chisholm. Jazz blasts his first home run of the spring. And he's back in action after recovering from a back injury, getting used to playing center field. And after a relatively slow start to the 2023 Major League Baseball spring training, Jasperado Jazz Chisholm Jr. proved that he's back to full strength or near to it, recovering from a back injury that hampered him in the later part of last season. The Bahamian superstar player had his first multi-hit game of the spring on Friday, including a towering home run to left center field, putting the Miami Marlins on the scoreboard in the game against the St. Louis Cardinals. The Marlins went on to lose the game 8-3 and have won just 1 game against 8 losses in spring training. But there's little to doubt that the electrifying, charismatic center fielder of the Marlins is back. Now, check out the story by Sheldon Longley in today's Guardian. The sports editor does a great job with it. Jazz is back, no pun intended. And this is spring training. An 8-3 loss doesn't mean anything. You look at the lineup, the box score, you see how many players, at-bats Jazz had probably 1 or 2 at-bats, and he was out of there. It's all training. That's the key word, spring training. When you see April hit, that's when it all counts. And that's when we get down to the nitty-gritty. Swimmers perform at that last chance meet, story by Simba French. The Bahamas Aquatics Federation held its 2023 Carifta Trials, dubbed the Last Chance meet this past weekend, and the swimmers were able to perform at a high level as they look to make Carifta qualifying times and move up the rankings. At the end of the day, the 2-day meet at the Betty Kenning National Swimming Complex this past weekend, 43 swimmers were able to go under Carifta qualifying times. The Barracuda Swim Club's Emmanuel Gadsden had a strong meet after not swimming any long course meets in almost 8 months. The 15 to 17 boys swim was able to improve on some of his times as he prepares to swim his final Carifta. Read more on that. And the Mingos knock off the Great Whites for the third straight win. Oh, wow. My God. I'm looking here, man, and wow. Bot's still playing ball, mothers. Okay, I'm just looking at some of the action last night. We got some veteran dudes there on the Great Whites, I'll tell you that much. The University of the Bahamas Mingos men's basketball team played their better as the game against the Zulu Media Marketing Great Whites in the New Providence Basketball Association action at the AF Valley Gymnasium on Saturday night. And just like the previous two wins, they finished strong to pick up a victory. The Mingos won 81-64 for the team's third straight win. Delano and Bristol led the Mingos with 24 points, including 4 3-pointers in the win. Gabriel Stiles came off the bench down 11 rebounds. All right. That's the Mingos on a little 3-game win streak, man. I tell you, big win right there for them, too. All right, that's a wrap on the home court. All brought to you, of course, by Burger King Nassau. Let me check some of the text. Listen, man, you should have chimed in earlier. Naughty, what's going on? Freeport just shouting out, okay, be safe and stay dangerous. Naughty, the best cartoonist ever on Saturday morning back in the day. He-Man, Thundercats, The Amazing Spider-Man, Transformers, the original one, G.I. Joe, GoBots, Bugs Bunny, DuckTales, Super. Yeah, you pretty much calling off all the good ones. You missed maybe one or two, but you right on there. You're a connoisseur. I tip your hat. I tip my hat to you on them. There's some good choices right there. All right. Any Pearly sighting? Have we had a Pearly chime in yet? Keep an eye out for Pearly. I believe Pearly overindulged in some wings or something. I believe Pearly is done sleep with the remote in his hand, and spring training baseball is watching him. So we'll keep an eye out for Pearly, but as we wait for Pearly, this coming in. Now, you wonder why Jazz isn't with the team Great Britain, where we are represented by several Bahamian athletes and major leaguers in the World Baseball Classics. The Marlins have prevented him, like we said yesterday. Obviously, he's in spring training. They're worried about their commodity, their investment. They need to make sure that back is in place for them. So he's going to sit this one out against Team Great Britain. It's very disappointing. Obviously, the Brits are mad about it. But I get the Marlins stance. I totally do. And we'll get to some sports news now on who's in and who's out. Like I said, all brought to you, of course, by Tropical Gyros. And be sure to check them out. Big up to Chef Coleman and the crew, man. Both locations are off the chain, man. You got to check them out. Mackie and Rosetta, the flagship. They're open until 6 p.m. And then over there in the West, R&D Plaza. All right, JFK. You got that location open until 7. Tropical Gyro on. And in addition to the gyros, they got the bowls going on. They got the salads. It's all good. And the flavor profile off the chain in each and every dish, man. Totally unique and totally, tasty, satisfying, scrumptious when it comes to that flavor at Tropical Gyros. All right. We're looking for Pearly. Are we looking for Pearly? Are we seeing Pearly? He needs to zoom. Okay. All right. I tell you, Pearly got a situation with the fryer. Okay. So we'll let Pearly deal with the fat fryer situation. And we'll jump on in. And here's some news that jumps right out. The New York Giants have franchised Saquon Barkley, running back. But breaking news now, after tagging Saquon, they've signed Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones and the Giants reportedly agree on a 4-year, $160 million contract ahead of the tag deadline. The New York Giants are finalizing a 4-year, $160 million contract with quarterback Daniel Jones, according to Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network. Jones completed a career high 67.2% of his passes for 3,205 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions last year, and 7 touchdowns. 25-year-old was one of the main reasons the Giants improved from 4-13 in 2021 to 9-7-1 with a wild card round win over the Minnesota Vikings in 2022. Jones clearly gelled well with first-year head coach Brian Daboll and offensive coordinator Mike Kafka. He ended up piloting an offense that went from number 31 in scoring in 2021 to number 15 in 2022. So they've signed him, and he's going to be a New York Giant. So we'll keep an eye out on that. And for those of you who all right, I got your texter. I'll give you the players for the Bahamian players represent Great Britain in the World Baseball Classic. We got pitchers Chavez Fernanda and Tanaj Thomas. We also have catchers Uriel Forbes, infielders Lucius Fox, and B.J. Murray. All right? And, of course, can't forget Anthony Seymour as well. Solid selection right there. Solid selection. Deshaun knows as well, along with Anthony Seymour, right? So you got some talented guys on that team doing that thing. Some good bats there, too. Some good sticks. So we'll see how it works out. And then you add some of the other components from Great Britain. And you got a recipe for a successful squad here. Let's keep an eye on them. And, of course, we have Trace Thompson. Yeah. From the Los Angeles Dodgers. Michael Thompson's kid. Yeah. So we solid. We got the local flavor, the international flavor, all of that good stuff. So definitely back to the Giants, though. They franchise tag Saquon Barkley. They signed Daniel Jones to the long-term deal. And moving around, Lamar gets a non-exclusive tag from the Baltimore Ravens, but the Falcons, they're not going to jump on Lamar's train, on the Lamar Jackson bandwagon. The Falcons won't pursue Ravens QB after the non-exclusive tag. The saga between Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens might be taking quite the twist, but don't expect the Atlanta Falcons to swoop in. According to ESPN's Diana Rossini, Atlanta will not pursue Jackson after the Ravens use the $32.41 million extension non-exclusive tag on the quarterback. As ESPN's Adam Schefter noted, any team that signs Jackson would have to give up 2 first-round picks. That's not going to happen. So Atlanta's bowed out of that situation. All right? And, of course, like I said, simply because, obviously, Baltimore exercised that. If we're not going to sign him, or we can't sign him, you sign him if you want him, but you got to give us 2 first-round picks. And that might not be out of the realm of possibilities. Okay? Now, also coming out of the NFL, the Chiefs are expected to re-sign Juju Schuster-Smith. All right? And, of course, he's expected to get a new contract in free agency. According to NFL Network's James Palmer, the Kansas City Chiefs plan to re-sign Smith-Schuster in hopes of keeping some continuity in their passing attack. The thought is in KC right now that Mahomes is expected to be throwing the same core group of guys he ended the season with. Travis Kelce at tight end. All right. Kadarius Toney, who the Chiefs believe will be a wide receiver 1 in 2023, based on his speed and his athleticism and how much they pump the ball to him. Marcus Valdes-Scantling, Sky Moore, and they plan on bringing Juju Schuster-Smith back. So basically, they have that core that they won a Super Bowl with. And I guess Mahomes is comfy with them. And so should everybody else. So let's see how that plays out. And if you want to know everybody who was franchise tagged, Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, Evan Ingram, Josh Jacobs, Daron Payne, Tony Pollard. All right? And like I said, the Giants are making some moves, but I don't know. I don't know about that Daniel Jones signing. Don't know. Falcons say they're not going in on the Lamar train. And pretty much he might end up back in Baltimore. $34.1 million or whatever it is for the season. We'll see. Derrick Henry. Red flags abound here. He is definitely on the trade block. there is a market for Derrick Henry. Excuse me. And Daniel Jones, like I said, 4-year extension worth $160 million. We just touched on that. And right now, like I said, we're looking at the Derrick Henry situation, and that is developing, that is evolving. All right. And here are the 8 best destinations for Derrick Henry, according to Bleacher Report. So let's have a look at where Derrick Henry may end up. Couple of good destinations. Yeah. When you think about it, if you want to get in on a running back that still has some tread left on the tires, all right, then Derrick Henry is somebody certainly that you look at. Now, he's taken a lot of wear and tear in Tennessee, but he still has some, tread left on the tires. So you can get some value for him. However, who's going to step up and make the move? Now, apparently the rumblings, and I wish we had Pearly on this, because apparently the rumblings are, some are coming out of Miami. The Dolphins are definitely on the radar. Okay? So you have to look at what they may be able to offer Tennessee in regards to Derrick Henry. Tennessee's not afraid to trade a star. They traded, A.J. Brown last year, and look how that panned out for them. All right, so you have to look at the Dolphins. They're on the radar. The Buffalo Bills are on the radar. Okay? And obviously Tennessee's, because if you compare what Christian McCaffrey hauled in, what the 49ers gave up from him, and what the Panthers spent, Derrick Henry is somebody who teams may spend on. So you have to look at potential landing spots where he may end up. Now, apparently he's not being shopped, but they're taking phone calls. Okay? All right? So you may not be shopping him, but you taking phone calls, that means he's on the block in some way, shape, or form. So if you look at it, Miami's a contender. The Patriots are contenders. In addition to that, you have the Bills that are contenders. So you have to look at how this may go. This may be a draft day trade. Okay? Might be a draft day trade. So Derrick Henry may very well be on the move this offseason. So the rumors came out yesterday. Tom Brady, he's shutting them down today. Remember we talked about it. And Brady is out today shooting down NFL comeback rumors, jokes about daughter's pet kitten. I don't need to know about your daughter's pet kitten, but he did shoot down the rumors saying he is not making a comeback. So all you Bradyites, he's continued to remain retired. And who sent him into that retirement? The Cowboys, 31-13. Don't forget that. Pats won't tag Jonathan Jones. New England not interested in bringing cornerback back after he hits free agency. But I don't think they're going to tag him. The Rams are unsure about trading Jalen Ramsey now. There's some in-house backing and forth. And do we keep him? Do we let him go? And apparently the Jets continue to talk to Aaron Rodgers. They're continuing to court Aaron Rodgers, trying to go all in right now, get a veteran signal caller and see what happens there. Obviously, Michael Thomas' future with the Saints is uncertain after Derek Carr's contract. Michael Thomas' social media celebration about Derek Carr joining New England Saints felt strange in the moment because it's unclear if the 3-time Pro Bowl wide receiver will actually play with the team's new quarterback. Per Jeff Duncan of the Times-Picayune, there are divided opinions within the Saints organization about whether or not Thomas will be on the roster in 2023. Some are optimistic he will return. Others believe he's already moved on and is just waiting for the Saints to cut the cord. According to ESPN's Phil Yates, who reported in January that Thomas agreed to restructure his contract by reducing his base salary for next season from $15 million to $1.67 million and adding $31.75 million roster bonus for 2024 that actually becomes fully guaranteed on the third day of the 2023 league year, which is March 17th. Thomas also got a $900,000 signing bonus equivalent to 2 game checks for agreeing to restructure his deal. The restructuring gives the Saints the ability to move on from Thomas, but they would have to make a decision soon after the new player league year starts to avoid being on the hook for his roster bonus. Now, the Saints could release Thomas before the March 17 deadline and for his roster bonus and designate him as a post-June 1st cut to lower his 2023 dead cap charge to $11.9 million and a $14.18 million dead cap charge in 2024. So he's going to end up somewhere. I think he's out of New Orleans. But if he comes back healthy somewhere, could be a good candidate for comeback player of the year and could help a team over the top. And finally, Geno Smith staying with the Seattle Seahawks. He's finalizing a 3-year, $105 million deal with the Pro Bowl cornerback. Is finalizing a deal with Seattle. 3-year, $105 million contract ahead of free agency. And he's turned his fantastic 2022 season into some long-term financial security. The veteran QB and the Seattle Seahawks have agreed to a 3-year, $105 million contract. This is according to NFL Network's Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport. The Score reported Smith has the ability to earn $52 million in the first calendar year of the contract. So there you go. Seattle's taking care of their quarterback question they had coming in last year after they traded, Russell Wilson. I think they're going to ride with, Geno. And good for him. Deserves the money and did a good job. And, of course, Derek Carr signs with New Orleans. And 4-year, $150 million, $100 million guaranteed. But how does that affect the quarterback carousel? Now you got fallout. You got Carr going to New Orleans. You got Daniel Jones remaining in New York. New York Jets. Apparently Jimmy Garoppolo might be heading to Las Vegas. Still rumors swirling Lamar could leave Baltimore. It's going to cost you 2 first-round picks. So we'll see where all that falls out. But Carr now has kind of reshuffled the market. And now the Broncos are saying they may cut Russell Wilson after next season. And they're also shopping Courtland Sutton, wide receiver. So maybe, you'll see some big offseason moves and some big draft day trades as well. All right. 5:30 p.m. is the time. Let's take a quick break right now. Let's get to the first break. And on the flip side of the break, we'll be back. We'll get some more NFL news in. Then we'll flip it to the NBA. So some big games on tap tonight. And we'll check out the playoff positioning in the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. And the Lakers, the 12th seed, 31-34, all locked up with the Trailblazers and the Jazz and the Pelicans, all 31-34. But it's conference game and conference record. It's got them all separated. But the Lakers definitely within striking distance. And now you got issues with the Grizzlies with Ja Morant and that silly situation. So we'll talk about that and more on the flip side of the break as the Tuesday, March 7th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
Refined style with elegant taste. Then Fine Threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then Fine Threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like wanna step out and look great, then Fine Threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste. Then Fine Threads is your place. Is your place. Is your place.
Flavor alert! The Dunkin' Maple Sugar Bacon Breakfast Sandwich is the perfect blend of maple and smoked bacon in every bite. Enjoy a fluffy egg, melted Swiss cheese, and sweet caramelized maple sugar smoked bacon, all stacked on a warm, flaky croissant. Make it a combo with lightly seasoned hash browns and your favorite freshly brewed Dunkin' coffee. Tap into maple flavor today at Dunkin'. The Bahamas runs on Duncan.
Get your Carifta tickets. The 58th Carifta Games is coming April 7th to April 10th. Tickets are on sale now online at Carifta50.com or at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium, Western Grand Entrance. For more details, email tickets@Carifta50.com or call 605-4051.
Play with Island Games. We making dreams come true. Play with Island Games. We paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market. You get cash in your it's spicy, and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first. Guaranteed to pay Island Games. We like them other jokers. We've been here from the start. From the bike to computer. Island Games. We gonna make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
We're back at you on the Tuesday, March 7th edition of Talking Heads. And your boy Naughty and your company right up until 6 p.m. Don't forget, we got Rich Eisen on the final 10 today. All you Packer fans, yeah, and you Jet fans, listen, according to Rich Eisen, Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Jet. Mr. Producer, you think that's going to pan out? Aaron Rodgers as a Jet, as the Jets quarterback. If he go there with any gas left in the tank, he got a couple of good wide receivers there, boy. But boy, if he go there smoking, cow manure and eating mushrooms and freaking himself out, talking about how consistent his bowel movements were, I don't know. We'll see. And that's New York, but that could go very, very well, or that could go very, very ugly, very, very quickly. You know that kind of way? That could go from the penthouse to the outhouse overnight. That could get ugly quick. Yeah, indeed. All right, let's check out the NBA. Check out some NBA news. Yes. The latest. Got games on tap tonight, obviously. But you got to check out what's going on around the NBA. And, D'Lo apparently on the way back for the Lakers. They got a timeline now for his return. And the Lakers have been without D'Angelo Russell for multiple weeks, but his return appears to be around the corner. Russell suffered an ankle injury on his Lakers. In the 5 games, Russell and Smith, the Lakers have gone 3-2. And apparently, he may return in the next game. He was supposed to return against the Warriors, but he didn't. So maybe it'll be in the next game or two that he'll be back. And that makes sense because the Lakers need him back in any capacity. Okay? So we'll keep an eye out. But he's on the mend and apparently ready to go in the next game or two. So we'll keep an eye out there. That's a much-needed boost to that lineup. In addition to that, Dennis Schroeder playing through an ankle injury and playing at a high level, getting praise from Anthony Davis, who in his own right is playing at a very high level in LeBron's absence. And according to head coach Darvin Ham, he says AD is in a great place after the win. Let's go to the phone lines real quick. Talking Heads, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Who's this?
Hey, what is it, Naughty?
What's going on, my brother?
Everything good, man. Everything good. Listen, you watch the game on Sunday?
Which game?
Lakers game.
No, I was at baseball.
That game, right?
Now, I saw some of the highlights.
Okay, no, well, listen. In that game, I was listening to Mark Jackson and, what's his name again? Mark Jackson and, Mark Jackson and, what's his name again? Mark Jackson and, 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 Mark What Mark Jackson
and
co-pilot name?
yeah, Van Gundy. Sometimes
Van
I call him Van Dummy, but yeah, Jeff
Right.
Van Gundy.
Jeff Fernandez, right. And the other fella. Now, what they were saying is, if Lakers win the game, right? So, but they were saying before the win, they were saying if Lakers win this game, they'll be in 10th place, right?
Correct.
And,
Correct.
And then they will be 1.5 game out of 7th place and 2 games within 6th place.
Well, that's what they are right now. If you look at the standings, right?
Uh-huh.
In the Western Conference right now.
Right.
Okay, the Lakers, because of scheduling and conference records, they're now in the 11th spot. All right? But they could easily turn that around overnight because in front of them is Portland, the Jazz, and the Pelicans, all at 31-34. The Pelicans, Jazz, Blazers, and Lakers, all bunched up at 31 and 34.
Right.
But they play each other, and obviously when they start playing other games, the league standings will now fall back into place because now you got different conference record, and now as you play more conference games, you can determine, who's going to have the better record for tiebreakers. And not everybody's going to be tied. Not all 4 of them are going to be tied.
Right.
So the Lakers technically right now, they're in 12th place. Blazers in 11th, Jazz in 10th, Pelicans in 9th. But the Clippers, they're at 34 and 33. They're only the Lakers are only 2 games out of 8th. 2 games out of 7th, and 2.5 out of 6th.
Right.
And only 3 out of 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So anywhere between 5 and 12 is where the Lakers could end up in this crapshoot.
So if they could go on a winning streak,
Right? They got a chance
5-6 game
to
winning
end
streak.
up beyond that point and end up maybe as the 7th or the 6th seed and avoid the bubble and the play-in altogether.
That's what I said. If they get
And it would have helped if LeBron would have been there. It would have helped if LeBron would have been there in the process.
Yeah, but I think they could play. I think they can play. They got 17 more games.
They get D'Angelo Russell back. They got an opportunity, man. They're at 31 and 34 right now. That's at 65 games, and they got 17 games left to play. You absolutely right.
So what I was saying, right? Let's just say out of them 17, right? They win 12 of them. 12 of them.
12 of them will put them at 41, 43, and 39. 43 and 39.
They'll be 43 and
39.
Huh?
43 and 39.
Right. Now, according to the way it goes, let's say they got to play Tingham again, right?
They got to play everybody who's in front of them again, at least once.
Exactly. They win all
The
of them.
Lakers have the weakest last 20 games or 26 or 27 in the last quarter of the season. The
Right.
last 25 games is the weakest schedule.
Right, exactly.
So they got everything in their favor to get it done.
Now, if they beat, like I saying, if they beat all them people who they supposed to beat, right? That same little bunch what you just call off, right? They got to play all them again. So if they win them set of games, and plus win them couple games in the East, I think they get about 5 or 6 more games in the East, or 7. I think it's 6 or 7, right? And they win at least with 5 of them in the East, which all of them supposed to be winnable games. I think Lakers might be someplace, like you say, up in 6, around 6, 7.
We'll see. And, if they could get it done without LeBron, then they should only be in a better position when he gets back.
Now, I know you're talking about NBA now, right?
Uh-huh.
What you think now that, he'll be a good fit?
Who?
Derrick Henry?
In Miami? Hell yeah.
But
with the running that your offensive coordinator likes to do, and he's sticking by Tua, Derrick Henry to be a great acquisition for the Dolphins because he can take care of your running game and keep the pressure off Tua.
You was my man. Derrick Henry could be the beast, and your boy, he could be what's my boy name? Bosa, the running back.
Bosa.
Running back. He could be the Jaguar.
Who you mean?
The running back for Dolphins.
Which Dolphins? Because they letting Mozart go.
They let Mozart go?
Mozart go in, and so is Jeff Wilson. I hear the 2 of them up as cut candidates.
Man, so bad.
The Dolphins may draft a running back in the draft to be the Thunder, to be the Lightning to Derrick Henry's Thunder.
Oh, wow. Oh, I like to know this and let him go.
I hear Bijan Robinson might be a candidate for the Dolphins in the first round.
Who that?
The running back.
At least see how it go.
Yeah, but I think Henry would be a good move for you guys. It takes a lot of pressure off Tua.
Yeah, I would like for Henry to be. I like for them to pick up Henry.
And Henry's somebody, when you playing like the Buffalo Bills and the Patriots and the Jets and games you got to win, you could turn it over him in the fourth quarter. He could ground out the clock.
They wouldn't play against him the way they're playing against him in Tennessee.
No, sir.
They know if they fill
they crowd that box too much, Tyreek Hill, and Waddle them will kill you deep over the middle. You got it.
On the outside.
You got it. It's pick your poison.
Yeah.
So I think that might be a good move for the Dolphins.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah, that'll be solid.
All right.
Don't naughty. Right, you're doing it then.
Be safe, my brother. All right?
Yeah,
be blessed as always. All right, good stuff. All right, Mr. Producer. Let's couple more minutes, and then don't forget Rich Eisen taking us home today. Final 10. And like I said, he's going to address that situation with Aaron Rodgers becoming potentially the next quarterback of the New York Jets. Kermit going from green to green. If he goes from the Packers to the Jets, he's going from green to green. And he can get green in between. He can get paid. But what can he do? Let's go to the phone lines again real quick. Talking Heads, Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Who's this? Talking Heads, Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Who's this?
Dan Naughty, what's happening?
What's going on, brother?
Everything good. Now, being the Dolphin, I just want to make one little correction. I heard you say we going after this running back with a first round. We don't have a first round pick.
No, I heard today y'all going to trade back into it. Bijan Robinson drops to the latter portion of the first round.
Y'all
going to trade back up to get.
Back after the first round.
You got it, to get Bijan Robinson if he's there, or the kid from Alabama.
Oh, I was kind of hoping that we would trade back into the first round and try if we could trade for Lamar Jackson. But
if not, you have options in the second round. You have some good running backs that are coming out, and I'm hearing that your coach is definitely looking to restock that running back room. That I think, even though he's a fan of Mostert and Wilson from his days in San Francisco, let's be honest, they injured more than they're healthy. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and it's hard to say because I like them so much, but the position is kind of dwindling down to like a dime a dozen right now.
You could get value at running back is one of the positions you could get value all throughout the draft. You've got to have that one freak of nature to take in the first round, but anywhere from the second to the sixth round, you could find a quality running back. You can even find some undrafted free agent running backs.
You see what
that plug and play.
Do with the one from the seventh round.
Pacheco is a beast.
A monster, man. But I'm kind of hoping we could do a Derrick Henry or Lamar Jackson.
I think Lamar is now maybe closer to becoming a Dolphin than he is anything else because the Falcons have backed off. See, if y'all have the capital, y'all have 2 first-round picks you can give Baltimore. The question is, are you going to do it?
Yeah, I think the money can be the hang-up, but...
you got to pay somebody. You got to pay him or you got to pay Tua. Whichever way you go, you got to pay somebody at least $40 million.
Naughty from the man was in Alabama when Dolphins was doing that tanking year. What Flores messed up because I still say Joe Burrow is supposed to be my quarterback. I keep saying to my friends and family who never used to watch college football, Tua Tagovailoa can be my man. Who that is? But I was on him from the start. But he just say healthy, man. You can't give me.
You can't stay healthy. And imagine this: Lamar Jackson. You got him at quarterback. You got Ty Waddle. You got the next little receiver that started to evolve for you at the end of the year. That is lights out with what he does with the football.
Yeah, because
you retool the offensive line a little bit. You get him a quality set of runners to go behind him, and you got a Super Bowl offense right there, buddy. You got an offense that could kick butt and take names every Sunday.
Exactly. If I have somebody, would the defense have to put a spy on? What could open up the middle for Waddle and Tyreek Hill, even open up the top? I feel like we could be much more explosive than what we is. I'm kind of interested to see what the defense can be because this new system we putting in, we ain't going to be taking as much chances. But, I like the Dolphins. I really do. but we need to make some changes because I feel like we're right there. And if Jets get Mr. Rogers.
Well, listen out. The final 10 today going home is Rich Eisen. He's going to break it down. Apparently, he's got the tea leaves working, and apparently everything's lining up that Rogers is going to be the next quarterback of the Jets.
This division is going to be brutal, Naughty. Brutal.
Scary.
Listen, I know you got to go, but use the Morandian, man. What's going on with your boy?
Knucklehead, man. Knucklehead. Friends. Entourage. I don't condone the off-court actions. You know, I think, the world of him on the court as a talent. But very similar to AI, he's got that entourage. And just as he's reminiscent on the court of AI, he's reminiscent AI off the court with that crew, with that entourage. Sometimes one or two knuckleheads are bringing.
Because the young man has such a bright future if he only had.
I think they're working on that right now. I think
cool,
people.
Man. Be safe, Naughty.
You too, bro. Always good stuff hearing from you, man. All right, let me slide in real quick with the Island Game. Don't forget they got $100,000 up for grabs with the Island Game Sportsbook. It's March Madness season. Bet with Island Game Sportsbook for a chance to win. To turn your bracket predictions into $100,000. All right, for the perfect bracket and best bracket, all you have to do is visit theislandgame.com, theislandgame.com for more information. And remember, the Island Game always reminds you to play responsibly. All right, let's get to the break. Flip side of the break, Rich Eisen taking us home with the final 10 today. Will Aaron Rodgers be quarterback of the New York Jets? We'll all find out coming up on the flip side of the break. Everybody who chimed in today, good stuff. And we'll see you again right here, Lord Spit Life tomorrow. Have no fear, we'll be back in the chair for the Wednesday, March 8th edition of Talking Heads right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Have a good one, Bahamas. Be good. And if you can't be good at it. Rich Eisen coming up, taking us home out of the break. Don't touch it.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. Whatever the occasion, John's is confident you will find what you're looking for among our always growing collection of amazing and trendy styles. We cover women, men, children, the whole family. Together with John's great prices and helpful and friendly customer service, your experience in shopping with us will be time well spent. Too busy to come in store? Shop with us online. www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on in today at John's, where we put fashion at your feet.
Attention all KFC lovers! Are you ready to get crazy on Tuesdays? Now you can get 5 juicy mouth-watering pieces of KFC chicken for only $10. It's crazy! 5 pieces of world-famous KFC chicken, handmade with a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices for only $10. Don't miss out! This crazy offer is only on Tuesdays and only at KFC. KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking good.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Whether your business is in-store, on the go, let Fidelity work with you to maximize your customers' payment options with a fixed or mobile terminal so that you never miss a sale. It's safer than cash and more convenient so that you can take your business anywhere. For details, contact a business development officer today at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport, or visit our website at fidelitygroup.com.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Another rumor I heard at the Combine.
Is this a new one?
Nope. Number 2 on the list.
Oh, yeah, number 2.
Number 2 on the list. The Packers sure hope Aaron Rodgers, when he comes out of his thoughtful procedure about what to do, will say, I don't want to come back. Then you hear my buddy, Hal Wingo III, Trey Wingo.
Yeah.
He said that the Rodgers and the Jets had conversations today, this was last night, while nothing's imminent, Rodgers opened to the idea of going to New York. Many reports following today, actual reports, that Rodgers and the Jets are talking. That it's happening today. Aha! As Ian retweeted, Rodgers has received permission to speak with the Jets, source confirms. Some due diligence. He got permission. The Packers said, go talk to him. Go talk to him. Why would they say that? He's not a free agent.
If not.
Which leads me to believe he's about to become a New York Jet. The only thing that in my mind that would hold this thing up, because if he's, then I believe that relationship is over. Can it be put back in the bottle? Of course. Crazier things have happened. I talked to the Jets. I'm not interested. Want to come back to you. Oh, okay. Welcome back. But in the back of everyone's mind will just be the fact that, yeah, I wanted to talk to somebody else and you let me. That might be actually appreciated by Rodgers. Again, what I heard at the Combine is that's appreciated by the Packers. You go talk to somebody else. Go for it. Now, it leads me to believe he's going to be a Jet. And the only thing that would hold it up is that the Packers say, yeah, we're only picking up 10 of his $60 million. We're only picking up 5 of his $60 million. I don't know what that number is going to be, that the Jets are comfortable paying it. And then whatever amount that the Packers pick up, the larger that amount gets, the higher the draft choice, one would think would be coming from the Jets. We're picking up a lot of his salary in order for you to get Aaron Rodgers at a rate less than, say, what Geno Smith is now going to be playing for in Seattle. That's going to cost you draft choice. It's now a horse trade, it seems, between the two general managers, I would think. I'm sure Rodgers in these conversations would be philosophical in nature, but the offensive coordinator that he had and has spoken so highly of that everyone thought when he was hired by Denver to be the head coach there, that was the clear indication that Rodgers would wind up in Denver. Nathaniel Hackett's now in New York. So what philosophical conversations need to be had? That's so deep that it would go a next day. I don't know. Rodgers is deep. Seems to me he's going to be a Jet. And that just blows my mind. That blows my mind on two fronts. One, that Rodgers is willing to go to New York. And I hope, obviously, he's a Jet. I hope this works out. I'm closing my eyes. I'm like, do I see Rodgers in the Canyon of Heroes as the second number 12 winning a Super Bowl? Thanks, everybody. Love you. I now don't have to buy a meal here the rest of my life. Thank you. I took the Jets to the promised land, all you Jet fans. In my remaining years of goatness, I actually went to New York and I did something that Favre did, which blows my mind, and did something that Favre couldn't do here. By the way, radio audience, I'm waving to all the folks going up the Canyon of Heroes. What's up? How you doing? You. Do I see that? It's tough to envision. You know why? Because I'm a pessimist. I'm a Jet fan. I wear the scars. Are we really going to get the Rodgers of the MVP years, last two? We're going to get that guy? Really? Garrett Wilson's going to, Elijah Moore's going to work out. And
maybe.
Breece Hall won't have his knee blown out this time. Like all the things, it's really going to work out. I'll tell you though, is that if you're hoping that Zach Wilson's going to be the guy there still, and you want to give him a shot to develop, he's such a young kid, you want to give him a shot to develop. Aaron Rodgers, bridge quarterback.
There you go.
Hadn't heard that concept ever. But sign me up if he can win. And if he wins, then all the questions about anything he says outside of the lanes of football will subside in the same way none of them were brought up to him inside that locker room in Green Bay. But it surprises me. He's like, yeah, sign me up. I'll leave Green Bay. I'll play for the New York Jets. Or he's willing to do that. And then, of course, the other side, I just have to, I spill this stuff out. I know Jet fans feel the same damn way. How the hell are we back here again? Look it up for me, Chris. I think I know the answer. How many playoff seasons have the Jets had since they tried Favre? When Favre came there for Mangini, and if I'm not mistaken, did Mangini like get a tattoo or name his kid His middle name, Brett or Favre or something like that, since the Jets went all in.
So Favre was 2008.
Yep.
He had 1 year. Brett Favre went 9-7.
Correct. Then the next year, they made
Then the
it.
next year, Rex came in, and you made back-to-back AFC
That's right.
championship games.
And then what happened after that?
After that,
We haven't made it since.
there's been no playoff berth.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you had Favre, and then you went and got a kid in the draft and actually had a pop. Now we went for the kid in the draft. Doesn't work. So now we're back in the position of trying on the Packers GOAT for size. How the hell did we get back here again? And I guess once we try the Packers GOAT on for size, then we'll go back to the kid we drafted. Is that the way it's going to work? And the draft choices that you cough up for him, you're willing to give up? I guess so. How the hell did this happen? We were supposed to be strolling up Zach's Fifth Avenue. Rodgers would be strolling down the Canyon of Heroes. I don't know why this always keeps happening to the Jets. I don't know why. And I know Saleh said he keeps receipts of people who doesn't believe in them, and I know he had fun rescinding that comment here on this, even on this program here. And how Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner and Breece Hall and Elijah Vera Tucker are changing the culture in that locker room. But I cannot believe the Jets are back here again, throwing a Hail Mary in the direction of Green Bay. And in many, remarkably, and we've heard this before, a Hail Mary involving Aaron Rodgers appears to be connecting.
He completes those.
He does.
And had you listened to me a month ago, you would have been settled in on this decision, and you'd be feeling better about it right now. But you didn't want to listen. You'd be feeling great today.
If I listened to you?
A month ago, yeah.
Okay.
I told you it was going to happen.
I just don't trust anything from you since you were trolling me about Mike White 2 calendar years ago.
Was that a troll, Chris? Was that a troll, or was that?
It was not
speaking facts.
Anything.
He was
other
the
than
best
a troll
quarterback
job.
on the team at that point.
Look,
right?
Look. All I know.